Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Music Village, and we completely forgot to mention the whole in-depth look of Bronson Reed, who said instead of the Shawn Michaels boy dreams coming true, the big boy dream is gonna come true at TakeOver 30, and I got a feeling his thick boy dreams is gonna involve him doing a Shawn Michaels splash off a 12-foot ladder. And I got a feeling that's gonna be absolutely monstrous to see on pay-per-view. And speaking of monstrous things that you can see, but for absolutely free, folks, I think it's time for us to go ahead and check out some games from a planet far away from here and from the Steam Machine as well for another edition of the Friday Night Greenlight. That is now a 12-pack challenge for this week. Oh boy! And the first game that we have up comes from the itch.io page of War Vision. Nice name, by the way, with their said game, Monty Constantini Jack's Home. And hopefully we said the name of that house right. According to the maestro, it's Constantini. And yeah, with the fact that you're having to deal with a crazy toy clown and other toys in this creepy house, this automatically reminds me of Emily Wants to Play, and yeah, here's hoping in the near future for this game that you have a toy that you can use to combat against these toys to actually take them out. Because, you know, you're a kid. I wouldn't say, oh, give this kid this flamethrower to try to take out these toys. I say use a toy to take out a toy. Best way to describe it. And the next game that we have up, which may be a haunted version of Toy Story, comes from the itch.io page of Impostery Syndrome, or Imposter Syndrome, with their said game, M-Stain. And this game automatically reminds me of an episode of The Outer Limits, where one guy tried to work for an office building only to turn out he was working for demons. You know, same concept here. And here's hoping in the near future that you have an exit plan out of this building once things turn sideways. And according to the maestro, this also reminds him of Beetlejuice, and he said there may be a chance that you could actually walk into one of the random rooms and leave to the other world. So here's hoping that there's a portal back to your world through one of those many doors on that high office building. And according to the maestro, you may have, 8, 9, 10 stories to search through all those doors to find a way out? Yikes. Yep, just like Beetlejuice or Looney Tunes. And the next game that we have up comes from the itch.io page of the T-Virus, with a 1 in the name of it, by the way, to avoid copyright with Resident Evil, with their said game, Second Chance. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of not only Night Trap, but a little hint of Manhunt in there as well. And here's hoping in the near future for this game, besides getting a chance to play against AI opponents in it, they also give you a chance to play alongside with other people to see if you can trap them in certain hallways or prevent them from escaping. You know, a chance to play the villain during this game. And apparently, according to the maestro, he said that would make this Resident Evil Resistance, and in my rebuttal to that statement, no, it would just make it Saw Part 8, or 9. I keep forgetting what number they left off on, but before we try to go into horror movie sequels, folks, the next game that we have up comes from the GameShow.com website with their said game, Blackout. And this game automatically reminds me of not only Alone in the Dark, but a little hint of Darkness Falls with a splash in there of Resident Evil Revelations 2, seeing the fact that your flashlight is an ultimate weapon. And here's hoping in the near future for this game, besides getting the option of using a flashlight to take out enemies, you can also use a lamp, a light, a chandelier, or any other form of light you can find in the house to try to take them out. Or even get the option of cranking on the generator and turning all the lights on in the house to eradicate those demons once and for all. Yeah, I got a feeling you're gonna have to fight for that one because there might be some giant Markling beasts waiting for you in the basement. And Maestro agrees with that one. Nice. Anyway, next game that we have up, which comes from the Steam Machine, folks, from the developers Frag Out Studios with their game, Thunder Tier 1. And this game automatically reminds me of a topside version of Conflict Desert Storm with a little hint of Tropic Thunder in there as well. Seeing the fact that there's 4 people in this game, and I somehow think one of them is Robert Downey Jr. According to the Maestro, it's not, but here's hoping in the near future that you get a chance to play alongside with your friends to help you try to get through these certain areas in the world. And Maestro said that's a possibility that you can do in this game. And here's also hoping you get a chance to modify your weapons to further take on the enemies throughout every level in this game. And he's not too sure about that, but here's hoping that you can. Especially the shotguns with Dragon Breath rounds, you know, to really make the enemies hurt if they come after you. And the next game that we have up comes from the developers Saibot Studios, or Cybot Studios, nice developer name by the way, with their set game, Hellbound. And this game automatically reminds me of Doom. Yep, definitely reminds me of Doom, and according to the Maestro, we mentioned this game on the show before, but like we say all the time here, it never hurts to mention a game more than once. And here's hoping in the near future for this game with all these hell-like weapons you get a chance to get your hands on. They also allow you to get those clubs that those enemies use as well. And maybe, just maybe, a chance to use a medieval flail or morning star to take out enemies in this game too. And with Maestro pointing to page 6 with you using one of the enemy clubs, well, all I hope for now is that medieval flail so you can take out an enemy from a distance or just attach the weapon onto him and pull him towards you like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. No, Maestro, I'm not gonna say the line. You know what, whatever. Get over here! And with that Mortal Kombat line out of the way, folks, we now head into the next game, which comes from the developers Pyramid Games with their set game, Dinosaur Fossil Hunter Prologue. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of A Night at the Museum with a little hint of the Gold Rush game and a splash in there of Jurassic Park if it was based on the fact that the dinosaurs were just bones. Yeah, which I hope that next Jurassic Park movie is that, because I know they're in some form of production for it, but that's besides the point. Here's hoping in the near future for this game, since you get a chance to use tools to dig up dinosaur bones and even ride in off-road vehicles. They give you an option of riding one of those giant barrack trucks to collect all the fossils at once as you make your way back to the museum. I don't know why, but a chance to drive a giant oversized truck in a game like this, or move one of those giant backhoes to dig up the fossils, would be pretty cool for a game like this. Really would. Anyway, the next game that we have up, besides digging up fossils that I got a feeling they're gonna try to bring to life once they get back to the museum, comes from the developers Nick Backus and Noah Backus, the Backus brothers, with their set game, Super Blood Warriors. I don't know why I felt the need to say the title like that, but I got a feeling it deserved it. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of Shell Shock Nom 67 with a little hint of Unturned in there as well. And here's hoping in the near future for this game that once you clear out an enemy camp of people trying to take you out, you get a chance to use that as a shelter to fight against the enemies that are trying to come after you for it. And according to the Maestro, I'm not sure if that'll work, but at the same time, you're definitely gonna need to hunker down somewhere after all these enemies try to take you out, and yeah, you're gonna need some shelter. So here's hoping you can make it. And oh, whoa, wait a minute. That one building on the left-hand side on page 6, that's big enough for you to hide in while you try to avoid a whole bunch of enemies? You should hide in there. Oh, according to the maestro, they knocked that one down. Right. Well, besides that building that I hope you can refix back up to live in so you don't get killed by those enemies, the next game that we have up comes from the developers Mediatonic with their said game, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of not only Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, but a little hint of Wipeout in there as well. You know, if it was in the universe of Gang Beasts. And here's hoping in the near future for this game that they have two announcers on the bottom of the screen doing color commentary for each one of the eliminations that would happen during this game. That's all I really hope for this game, seeing the fact that you get a chance to actually pull on your enemies to prevent them from winning and actually throw them off the stage at a moment's notice. So yeah, that's all I want. And oh, Maestro came up with a good point too, a chance to actually interfere in the game by actually using different forms of cannons or obstacles to prevent other people from finishing the game after you get eliminated. Another thing I hope for in the near future for this game, that according to the Maestro is currently out right now for you to pre-order. Nice. And the next game that we have up comes from the developers 10 Tons Ltd, nice name by the way, with their said game, Tesla Force. And this game automatically reminds me of Diablo, with a little hint of Children of the Corn, with the one picture of them in the cornfield getting attacked by a whole bunch of people. And no, Maestro, I do not see Malachi and Isaac in the background in that cornfield, so you have nothing to worry about. But outside of that, folks, here's hoping in the near future for this game you get a chance to work alongside with your friends and get some cool weapon upgrades in the near future. Hopefully a shotgun, because I do believe that assault rifle or what appears to be a chain gun is not working to take out whatever the hell that creature was on page 5. And according to the Maestro, it was some form of skeleton, and I can see the reason why it's not working. The bones probably are avoiding all of the bullets. He needs to get something that can actually hit it straight on, something along the lines of a shotgun. And according to the Maestro, they do have a shotgun, so here's hoping you get a chance to use the Tesla gun for this game too. And according to the Maestro, you can. Nice! And the next game that we have up, besides weapons that I got a feeling that were developed in either Fusion Fall or Dexter's Laboratory, comes from the developers Gingerbread, nice developer name by the way, with their said game, Exo Corps. And this game automatically reminds me of, well, Lost in Space, the newest version of the movie they came out with, version of Lost in Space, with a little hint of Halo in there as well. Mostly because the suit reminds me of Halo. That and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And here's hoping in the near future, during this game, you get a chance to inhabit these planets to try to figure out what sort of life lives on it instead of attacking everything. And according to the Maestro, that's a no-go, but they do have a robot that you can scan the area with to see if there is friendly life on this planet. Not bad. Not bad. And Maestro said just before I asked for it, there is railguns, missiles, and cannons that are featured in this game as well. Right? Well, as long as you're able to upgrade those to combat whatever on these dangerous planets, I'm alright with it. Oh, and here's hoping as well for a spaceship. And Maestro said now I'm asking for too much, so we're gonna move on to the next game. And the last but not least and 100th game we were able to mention for this month, which comes from the developers Knacksoft with their said game, Space Crisis. And this game automatically reminds me of a combination of Double Dragon with a little hint of Battletoads in there as well. And here's hoping in the near future for this game that you get a chance to play this game alongside with your friends to try to take on all of the crazy robots and aliens that you have to fight during this game. Either that or give you a railgun to take them out with one giant super attack to avoid getting, waylaid from both sides, like this guy did in one of the pages where it said game over, which really tempts me to say, game over, man, game over. And since it's in space and I got a feeling there's aliens, yeah, that line's very appropriate for what happened to this guy. And according to the maestro, not too entirely sure on the multiplayer, but maybe, just maybe, a chance for you to upgrade your weapons is featured in this game. Alright, I'll take it. As long as there's some form of space shotgun, I'll go for that too. And if you guys want to go ahead and check out any other cool games that comes from a planet far away from here, yet close enough for you to get that game in less than 15 minutes or less via teleporter, you can head on over to the Free Game Planet page, only known as freegameplanet.com, to check out a whole bunch of games that are just out of this world. And if you also want to go ahead and check out any of the games we mentioned from the Steam Machine, plus other games that are still coming there via the cargo ship, cargo plane, or subterranean train that is currently rumbling underneath your toes, you can head on over to the Steam.StorePower page, only known as store.steampower.com, and just click ever so lightly on that upcoming page, as well as clicking on that indie button along with it, to check out a whole bunch of beautiful indie games that'll definitely wrap up your month of independence with a great big smile on your face. Just like me, seeing the fact that these games helped me get to 100 games in less than 31 days. Nice! And with that said, folks, we might as well head back into the music once again, and when we return, we'll be back with yet another new DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories right after this. So don't wear your horns out in traffic just yet, folks, and stay tuned.